Hello and welcome to our Convotherm Deli and Bistro. My name is Paul and this is Andy.
Hi there.
And today we're going to run through our new design Mini and how that can help your deli or bistro business. So we're going to run through the real flexibility of the Convotherm Mini and obviously all the features and functions around it, all within 51.5 centimeters wide or just over 20 inches. So we've got a fantastic day ahead. We're going to run through our menu and obviously what we're going to do with our Mini. So Andy, I think we need to start with what we're going to start cooking in our first part of our day within our Deli Bistro.
Yeah, I think Paul and myself, we already prepared early this morning quite a lot of different items here on our counter. In our two Minis here in the background, we have our 610 unit, nice in black design, perfect for front counter, or in stainless steel, classic our 606 for the back of kitchen. So the Mini is a fully equipped combi oven. That means that allows us to have a platform where we can do everything. Especially here in small kitchen or front counter area, we are able to do any cooking application inside the Mini. Starting from steaming, roasting, grilling, and even frying, we can do all in one equipment without any additional accessory. So that allows us to be flexible and of course to achieving perfect product quality. And not only during the day we are using the Mini, we also use the Mini for high-class overnight cooking. Is it right, Paul? Yesterday at night, you actually load already something inside there.
Yes, so before our day has even started, we've been using the oven to do some form of production ready for us. So again, we're not taking up time during the busy day, because obviously that's when we want to be selling products and serving our customers. We're using it overnight where we don't have to worry about taking up space within the oven. So yes, we went to our 606 Mini. So again, this is our 6 tray 2/3 GN size unit. So again, overnight cooking, we use our core probe. So let's have a look at our product.
So what are we doing actually with this?
So this here, we have a pork neck. So again, nice and slow cooking overnight. Use our core probe to give us the best cooking results, which Andy will then run through in a minute. But again, as you can see, lovely coloration. And again, the beauty of using overnight cooking is the fact that we are not stressing the meat out. It's nice and slow, so we're getting low shrinkage and we're getting more yield for our product, and obviously it tastes a lot better being cooked overnight. So Andy,
yep.
I'm going to leave you to talk about low temperature cooking. We're going to get some bread rolls in ready for our bakery session, so I'll see you back in a minute.
Excellent. So here we see now in our manually cooking, we can choose LT or low temperature cooking in every cooking method. So the only thing what we have to do is we have to press this little plus. It brings me to low temperature cooking, and I can choose now the 3 cooking method depending on what type of dish I want to do. Steam, combi, or convection. If I'm doing red meats like a roast beef, I would go with convection air. For a well done cooked pork, especially for pulled pork, we used our combi steam. And then you can choose the doneness. So it's starting with rare, medium, and well done. Automatically you see the defined final core temperature. You can easily by a fingertip adjust them to your needs. So if you want a higher doneness for well done, just make it up to your needs. Whatever you're doing your setup, you're confirming it, and now you can actually see it's a multi-stage cooking profile what runs overnight. So like yesterday, Paul loaded in the pork neck around about 10 p.m. I guess, and then the unit is doing all those steps until we are coming in the morning. It's in infinity and more or less in holding. And this allows us to use the Mini more flexible. We are doing big pieces of meat in perfection just during a night where nobody's in the kitchen. Oh, there we are.
So Andy, here's our bread rolls.
Fantastic.
Let me get me a few more trays.
Yep.
And also we don't just do bread rolls, we can do pastries as well.
Nice.
Something sweet with coffee for later.
And some apple pies.
Now back to our low temperature cooking. As Andy's explained how that is, let's have a look at how this is cooked out. So again, I've got my gloves on. I am literally just going to pull it apart. And as you can see, I could eat that with a spoon. Okay, so we've got nice shreds of meat there. So yes, Andy, we need some barbecue sauce we can mix. So again, I'm pulling it apart.
Pull it a bit more apart, and then I add some barbecue sauce. It's perfect, especially when it's hot, to add this so the flavor is getting even more intense.
There we go. So again,
and it's easier for you now to mix it when it's some cold sauce on there.
So again, we've used the oven overnight. We've not been using it throughout the day to take any space up in our in our oven. So again, before the day has even started, we've got some mise en place done. We've got our perfectly pulled pork ready to go. But now, for that to go into, we need some lovely baked rolls. So, Andy, let's talk about a nice little feature called Bake Pro.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we need also for our daily, and especially now for the pulled pork, some fresh made buns or rolls. And also for the coffee service later on, I have some cinnamon rolls and some apple pies. And for that, we are using our Bake Pro feature, what we also find in the manually cooking. So we are going to convection here. And the first thing what you're doing, you set up your preferred baking temperature. So for this, I would say around about 165 degrees Celsius is fine. Time, in this case, because we are doing a mixed loading and we want to use our tray timer, I would say we are using 25 minutes, it doesn't matter. Now we tap this little plus over there and I can see Bake Pro adjustable in 3 levels. The 3 levels depending on the quantity and how much shininess you want on the product. We are doing now level 3, maximum. And you can see now, also here, the profile changed from a 1-stage profile to a 2-stage profile. The first stage is actually Bake Pro. What happens during Bake Pro? The cavity immediately after we load in the products will create a high amount of steam so that the product is in a really humid environment. The second step in Bake Pro is that the fan stops totally and the steam in the hot cavity can actually sit on the product and thaw the product, because those frozen, raw, pre-proofed products normally has to be defrosted outside for at least 30 minutes. Here we shrink down this thawing process to maximum 3.5 minutes in our Bake Pro feature. So the only thing what I have to do now is actually pressing start, the unit is ready, and it tells me ready to load.
So, Andy, let me help you with those.
Thank you.
So I will take bread rolls first.
Thanks.
So we can put that into any tray position. So we'll go to the top there.
It doesn't matter because we will use another feature in a second.
We'll put our apple pockets in there and then some Danish pastry in there. Fantastic.
Beautiful. Close the door. And now Paul will show you actually how to keep this under control in manual mode.
So again, as Andy said, we've now set our oven up at the right temperature and we've started with the initial time. But again, if I press this little symbol here with my little tray lines, this brings you to what we call the tray view. So again, this is manual cooking. So I roughly know how long certain items are going to take. Andy has already set one, but for apple pocket, say we maybe do 20 minutes.
All right.
So again, I enter 20 minutes, and as you can see now, the time starts to count down. And then obviously I've got my Danish pastries. Again, I will probably say they're going to take around 18 minutes. Yeah. So again, all in control. I can see now from there that the countdown, this is going to be the shortest time in yellow. We'll wait for that to bake, and then we'll come back and look at the fantastic results.
I just jump in and give the bread rolls also a timing. And I would say 10 minutes so that we don't forget anything.
There we go, nice and easy. So as you can hear, our oven is now telling us that our products are ready. And as you can see from there, it's indicating it's red, means that we need to remove the product from the oven. Thank you, Andy. So there are freshly baked rolls. Again, using Bake Pro to give us a lovely even color, a nice shine and crispiness all over the product. So Andy, do you mind cutting one of those up, please? Because we're going to make our sandwich. So we did our pulled pork, and we did that using our climate management overnight. We used Bake Pro to do all our baking requirements. So again, from fresh bread rolls to pastries. And now we're going to build our first dish for our bistro, which is a nice deli sandwich. We've got some lovely salad, some mustard mayonnaise, and then obviously our fantastic, lovely pulled pork.
Beautiful. Look at this. It's juicy, fantastic. Now we just add another one of our mustard mayonnaise. Lid on. And actually, with a napkin, our first sandwich of the day. And done already early in the morning because the Mini did a job for the overnight cooking for us.
Now we're going to look at another topic around combi steam, okay? And a lot of people don't realize what combi steam is. Sometimes they use a little bit of steam, a little bit of convection, but combi steam is a fantastic way to cook a lot of different products. Now, Andy is going to run through and just talk to us about combi steam in a bit more detail and some of the food products and benefits you get from combi steam.
Yeah, Paul, that's right. Actually, combi steam is the most important cooking method and actually the main reason why people buy a combi oven. It's a mix out of pure steam and convection air. The beauty in our Convotherm Mini, you, myself, we don't have to think and adjust the steam saturation. Convotherm minis automatically create the perfect climber inside the cavity for the products. And actually, why combi steam is so important, because you can say nearly every product needs a certain amount of steam. For chicken, for meat products, that they keep moist and juicy. For our muffins, what we want to do today, for a better volume, so that they rise, that they get this typical mushroom shape. So combi steam, the beauty again in Convotherm Mini is you don't have to make any adjustments. We are doing now the quiche together with the muffins, and we don't have to do any steam adjustments. Everything, or actually the product itself, takes the right amount of steam what it needs, and the Convotherm Mini creates the right amount of steam what the product could need. So the Mini is already preheated, and like I said, we are using now combi steam, the mix between steam and dry air.
So can I load those, and then you can show the tray timer?
Let's go for it.
So there's our, as Andy said, our muffins. So we want to get a lovely bit of steam in there to get those to rise, and then obviously our quiche to get them nice and hot and well baked. So in they go. And again, tray position doesn't matter,
because we will use our tray timer again like we saw before. So again, we just choose the right shelf position. So on the bottom tray, we have our muffins. Muffins, roughly, what do you think? 40 minutes?
Not 40 minutes, I think you go for 12 minutes more.
12 minutes, well, all right. Let's check it out after 12 minutes. And our quiche in the center position, we give it 12 minutes as well.
And as you can see now, so the first timer that Andy's put in is in yellow, so that's the timer that is in progress. Obviously, when that counts down, it'll go red and tell us to remove the product. So again, a nice, simple, easy way to do a lot of production and manual cooking.
True. All right, Paul, there we are. Our muffins are ready. We can nicely see it on our tray timer, and also our quiche are ready. So we can take out both.
So again, look at that fantastic color we've got thanks to combi steam. So I'll put those down, I'll put these down here. And also fantastic muffins. As you said, Andy, look at that steam, how it's allowed it to rise up.
Nice, in only 12 minutes. That's gorgeous. So, and I think the best idea is how nice the muffins look like is when I take one out and actually show how fluffy it is.
Okay, while you're doing that, I'm just going to dress up a quiche and put our quiche onto our board. So again, we've baked our quiche ready for lunch.
Yeah.
And then I shall also just plate one up ready for one of our guests.
Beautiful. So our muffins, like I said, nice coloration, nice browning, nice crispiness. Inside, fully baked, and just look at this, it's super fluffy, it just falls apart. It's not dry, so you don't need a cup of coffee to that. This is just pure enjoyable to eat. And the same with the quiche. Outside a nice caramelization, a nice crust. Inside, it's absolutely juicy. So just simple items, but absolutely enjoyable to eat. And actually exactly those dishes what our customers are looking for.
Again, cooked fresh, okay? And we're talking about fresh cooking. We need to get ready now for lunch because we're going to open our bistro.
Right. Yep.
So I need to start loading the oven and getting the oven ready to do some grilling for our lunch service.
All right, I set the temperature on a higher one in convection air and open the door for you, mate.
Thank you. So here, we are going to be using a special accessory, which is our grill tray. So again, we're going to get some nice grill patterns. Again, you can reverse them for thicker ones, but this we're going to preheat because I think we're going to be using some thin salmon and some thin chicken.
We are doing snack items now, and for that the cook time is really, really short. So that's why from a culinary perspective, it's much better to actually preheat those grills.
Right, so it's lunchtime. We put our special grill trays in our Mini, ready to get nice and hot because we're going to be doing some delicate items and we want to get them grilled really, really fast. But also today it's going to be a busy part of lunch, so we're going to be using the tray timer, the tray view, but in a slightly different fashion, which Andy's going to run through now, and that's all around part of our production management, press and go.
Correct. So now during lunchtime, we want to focus on our guests and we want to focus on at the same time, still to achieve the best quality. So before we always did in manually mode, did manual adjustments. Now we are going into press and go where actually everything is icon driven. So the beauty here is I don't waste time, losing time in doing adjustments or to keep an eye on it if everything works right. So here, icon driven, we are choosing now the category for lunch. And there I see grilled chicken, I see grilled salmon, and also I see my grilled root vegetables. So the beauty here is now that I only have to tell the unit how many trays, of what type of product, and in which tray position you actually want to place it. So we already got, like Paul mentioned, our preheated griddles in there. So we want to do 1 tray of grilled chicken. The beauty here is now also here, when I press to the plus, the unit shows me what's still additional I can do at the same time. So instead of using the Mini multiple times, we can use it more efficient with mixed loading. Then we're doing 1 tray of grilled salmon, and we're doing 1 grilled root vegetables on the bottom one. So now the only thing what we have to do is open the door. And actually now I give Paul those nice preheated griddles. You can actually hear the sizzling.
So our checks come in for our first order. So we're going to do some chicken.
And by the way, underneath I have a dripping tray. So the griddle now, the fat from the chicken, that's enough, Paul, cannot drip, for example, on the other products like the salmon or the vegetables. So here we're doing exactly the same.
So we've got first order of chicken, and then we're going to do some salmon.
Nice.
So we'll do, I think we've got a takeaway order as well. So we do 3 of those.
Yeah. The beauty is also during lunchtime, we can just keep and leave the griddles inside and just doing it by portion and portion. So now we're doing a bit higher quantity. So that's why we are taking them out. So that's
there's our
fantastic.
vegetables.
Thank you. All right, just close it, close the door. And again, we don't need to think about time, temperature, or cooking method. Everything will be done automatically, and also automatically Crisp and Tasty is activated.
So again, we use what we call press and go, which is again our production management, nice and easy, just fingertip button. But also Andy's using something called Crisp and Tasty. So what is Crisp and Tasty? So again, we're using high temperature.
Yep.
We are using it in 3 levels, so you can have 1 to 3 levels. And what we're doing is removing the moisture or dehumidifying that chamber to get it extra aggressive in there. Because we want the products to caramelize quicker, we want to get the products crispier, and by doing that you get more flavor, hence the term crisp and tasty. And at the same time, we've used our specialist grill trays. Again, you could have some baskets, we have additional trays, which will add to the ease of cooking, as well as giving you the best quality of the dish that you're trying to do. So we haven't got long now, so we've got a couple more minutes. Those products will be finished, and then when they do, we'll start plating up, ready for our customers. So again, you can hear and obviously see that our products are now ready, and the oven is telling us to remove them.
Yeah.
So first of all, let's go with our root vegetables.
That's what you can give me straight at.
Yep. So again, you can see nice charring on there.
Actually, I can lift on there, nice crowning. Now we just have to give them some seasoning.
And then here we have our fantastic grilled salmon. And again, Andy, how long was our salmon again?
Just 5, not even 5 minutes.
So 5 minutes, and as you can see, there's some beautiful grill marks, again, because of our specialist grill tray. So again, what I'm going to do now is take that freshly cooked salmon. I'm now going to make up my salad dish.
I bring you also the chicken already out.
And then obviously we've got our grilled chicken as well. So our beautiful salmon, we're going to dress that with a little bit of avocado, some pomegranate seeds,
Nice.
for some freshness.
And I give you some fresh herbs on top. Beautiful. And also, Paul, I need 1 portion of grilled salmon for to go.
Fantastic. So there's our first dish, again cooked to order, nice and grilled. And then I'll take this salmon here. That can go with our order for Deliveroo, or whichever delivery company you have.
Thank you. So put a lid on and some takeaway cutlery. There we are.
And then we have our chicken. So we have our root vegetables. And again, look at our fantastic grill marks on our chicken.
Let me close the door. So we have wild broccoli here, nicely roasted. I think all those root vegetables, they taste so much nicer when you have it roasted, and it's just the sweetness and the flavor profile is just more intense. Look at this, beautiful. And actually, all those things made without any other accessory. Right technology, the Mini, allows us with the right trays to do an authentic product quality without any compromise.
And again, if you're doing a lot of grilling or roasting, remember we've got the correct accessories to do it, but also things like mini hoods. So the Mini Hood Pro here can allow you to take all that smoke and grease out of the environment, again, in a very compact solution. So again, only 51.5 centimeters, 20 inches wide. So again, we looked at press and go to make it nice and easy for us to operate during a busy period. We've got fantastic grill marks, and that takes us on to our next topic, which is, after all this heavy grease and dirt, what are we going to do?
Again.
Cleaning. So the beauty of cleaning, which Andy will go through now, is that I'll clean the floor, but Andy is not going to clean his oven.
The beauty here is, like the cooking, it's only one fingertip and it's ready to go, and it's absolutely simple and safe. Because the unit is self-dispensing the chemical, I don't need to wear protective gloves, goggles, and I only have to choose the cleaning level, depending on how dirty, how greasy the oven actually is. If it's really dirty because you did a lot of roasting of chicken or steaks, or like here our teriyaki salmon, you can add an extra boost of chemical to the cleaning level. Or like here, because we have it in our front counter where the guests always see our equipment, I can also get an extra boost of care if needed for the extra shininess. And that's more or less all what it is. So now I only have to press start, and the Convotherm unit will guide me through the cleaning process. Again, the beauty is I'm not getting in contact with anything.
Okay, fantastic. So again, we've got chemicals that are dosed, so again, we can't cheat, but also cool little features as well, as Andy mentioned as well. If you use a particular cleaning program often, we can save it in a favorites menu. So again, that's another real short step, easy to access cleaning method. But again, also, if space is tight, remember we were talking about 51.5 centimeters, 20 inches wide. We've got a fantastic solution here in terms of our chemical drawers. So here I have chemical drawers where I can place my chemicals in and my care chemical. So if I have limited space, I don't have any space under the counter, that is a fantastic solution to look at. So, in summary, we looked at the morning overnight cooking. So we started early in the morning. We did baking with Bake Pro as part of our climate management function. We then went into combi steam, and we did some fantastic muffins, and we did a lovely quiche. And then now we did some fantastic grilling as part of our deli bistro. So again, all that in a very small, compact piece of equipment, expanding your menu, easy to operate. So if you need any more information, please visit us at www.convotherm.com for more information on the Mini and its family. From me, it's a thank you very much, and from Andy, and we will see you all very soon.